Hey, hello, hello. It is Tammy with Cheers to Creativity. So I'm going to scooch up to the table a little bit more, put you down, do that stuff. I like to do backgrounds that have some blended color with just a household sponge. With this one, I want this to be a night sky. You love winter scenes. Oh, good. But I'm going to pick a couple little different colors. So we all know I love my Prussian blue. It's a great dark blue, especially like if we want to see Santa flying through the sky. And I'll probably have a little bit of that ready to go to add to it. But I'm going to pick up, I'm going to get it all over me. I'm going to pick up some of these kind of more blue greens. This is Mystic Teal. This is blue, bluegrass green. And this is called Jeweled Green. And so I'm going to put those out first and just show you what those look like on my plate. And because I know I'm going to be bringing in some of that dark blue, I think it's going to work. Haven't done this. Sometimes we like to experiment right along with you. So we've got that really deep blue, and then we've got kind of these tealy green colors. And the other color I'm going to have handy is I'm going to pull up a little metallic too, which I'll probably wait toward the end to see if I'm going to be using this. But this is Peacock Pearl. And I do know at some point I'm going to need some white and some yellow, but we're going to wait on that. We're going to be blending some colors on here. I'm going to start by just picking up any one of these, doesn't really matter, and just smearing a little color all over it, just to give me a little bit of base to start with. And actually, it's great because it's telling me this is a little greener than I kind of wanted. I'm picking up this color, and I'm going to start just kind of sponging a little bit of this on. And I'm going to pick up some of that blue and mix in with it. I'm going to do this mostly on my edges. And as I'm sponging it, I'm also kind of like smearing it. So I'm kind of like smearing, rubbing. We're making a combination of textures with this. I'm going to grab a little bit of white. Put that on my plate too. And again, I'm just picking it up and I'm just pouncing it on my plate a little bit. And I know I'm going to just want to make it a little lighter. Maybe not quite that light. My center. I'm just kind of smearing and pouncing and smearing and pouncing. It's pretty easy. I'm just kind of dancing around with this sponge with a little bit of lighter color on here. And it really is turning out to be quite fun, I think. I might pick up a little more of the darker blue, just real quick. And in case you're watching The Grinch, hopefully the TV show, not Tammy the Grinch. I'm going to go around just a little bit with the blue on the outer edge. It's really fun what you can do with backgrounds and how it can set the tone for your painting. I'm just pulling a little more of this darker blue in. Just kind of almost, then it kind of sets that middle off even more. Now, we're going to need a bunch of stars all over. So we have a gazillion stars in our stencils. I just grabbed Oh My Stars from the Oh My Stars collection, and because I thought there was a lot of different size stars in this. Picking up my paint, and then of course I'm always offloading in a couple spots to make sure I get enough off. So let's just try this one. Just see if it's going to show up. Lift that up. I think having some that are a little more subtle is going to be fine. And I'm not really, see how they saw when it's really wet, how they really like to fade into that. I know there was because I'm going to need it to be really dry before I can put any transfers on. And I'm going to use a stencil that is out of stock for good reason. It is a Halloween stencil, but I love the moon in this one. If you've done this before, it's really just kind of fun. And that moon out there tonight is really more white and bright. I like to kind of start in the middle. I have a bit of the shimmer showing through on our moon too. And again, I'm not doing it everywhere. I'm just kind of going over it really quickly. So I'm going to lift that off. And this is what we have so far. Okay. Now I need to blow dry this before I add any kind of transfer to it. So, and I'm going to pull up this Woodland Wonders. Winter Woodland and Friends is the name of the transfer set. And we have some birch trees here with the little deer. The deer could show up. And we do have some other trees that are in this set, which is the Cozy Winter Cuddles. I've got this. I had the idea of having maybe these guys here, and maybe these are going to kind of be up a little higher on a hill. Maybe the hill come down. So I'm going to decide where I want him to go. Up there. So I'm going to cut off the tops of this here before I attach it, I think. What am I going to do? Right there. Straight across. And guys, those could be little birch trees on a smaller painting too, so don't dispose of them. So let's start with this guy. I'm going to pull this off. Do my best to not be touching. I think the pink one works better than anything else. Oops. So we're going to the scenes. Now I'm sure my grandchildren would think differently. Okay, so I got all that. Finish off his this big rack. Kind of rub it on here again. Put these up here. They're going to be up on a hill. You'll see me add the paint. So there I've got those trees. Now I got to make this make sense. Let me just get rid of this for a second. So I'm going to go back with some white paint, and I'm going to come start over here, and I'm going to kind of go right over that deer. I'm just going to kind of fade it down like this, okay? And then I'm going to think that these are up at a little more of a hill. So we're just going to let this kind of, I can even see a little bit behind him. And we'll just kind of work it down, soften it. It doesn't have to be completely white down here. It'll be more of a shimmer, less of a glitter. I think it looks really pretty. You could make it snow. If you look on that deer, it does look like it's snowing a little bit. And probably one of the easiest ways to make it snow is to even just use you can even use our stencil brush. If you add just a tiny bit of water to your white. So I wet my brush, which we normally do not wet our stencil brushes, do we? I got a little bit of that on here. I'm going to go back and find my paper towel and really, oops. I'm just setting it down so I'm removing most of that moisture. And I'm just going to tap my brush, or I can flick my brush like this, and it can give a light little snow. I'm not going to make it be a super heavy snow, but just a little bit of a snow. What do you think? I think it's rather pretty. Hey, thanks so much. Be sure to follow us over on Cheers to Creativity. We appreciate when you use our code CHEERS, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Cheers. Bye-bye.